Well, one of the reasons why we are doing this course between FAO and CIHEAM is the fact that marketing and the use of marketing data in our sector for many years has been not given the attention it should have been given. In fact, our sector, that is the fisheries and aquaculture sector, has always been dominated by a focus on production rather than the economic activity it is, the fact that we are fulfilling the needs, the demands of consumers, and that we have to generate, produce products that are satisfying the needs and the values of consumers all over the world. And in order to do that, we need good data, we need statistics, we need interpretation and analysis of those statistics and of that data. And this week we are here in Zaragoza, about 30 people from different backgrounds, different regions of the world, looking forward to a good exchange on different views, experiences, and also to see how we can build on the statistics, the data we have, to come up with better solutions, better methodologies, how to interpret the data and the statistics that we are generating locally, regionally, and also, of course, globally, or through national statistics, through international bodies such as the FAO, OECD, and others, or also from the private sector. There is a number of new sources of information, of data, covering the aquaculture and the fishery sector that were not available in the past, that have come to the market, that are becoming available, and in many ways are allowing us to interpret and analyze the market to an extent that we would not have been able to do some years ago. But also it takes not only data, it takes analysis, it takes interpretation of that data in order to be able to get the value out of that information. This course is a course that is the first time that we are doing it, but it's not the first time FAO is collaborating with the CIHEAM here in Zaragoza. In fact, over the years, we've done a number of courses covering a whole range of issues within the fisheries and aquaculture sector, ranging from statistics and data interpretation like this week to byproducts, quality and safety related issues, or fisheries management. And we find this collaboration between our respective organizations to be very fruitful. CIHEAM is bringing a team who knows how to organize, how to implement, how to bring people together from all over the world, especially from the Mediterranean and European countries. FAO on their side, we bring additional participants from developing countries. We assist also in developing the technical program, and together with researchers, academics, or private sector representatives from Europe as well as other areas, we are able to come up with a very exciting program. We have good discussions. We are able to get a good exchange of very different and very varied fields of experience, not only from the fisheries and aquaculture sector, but also from people from food sector in general. We have people from academia, from the private sector, from retailers, from processors, from the public sector, from policymakers, or from government. So together we I think can be quite happy with what we have achieved, and we are willing and looking forward to do a number of different courses also in the future, following the very successful formula that we have come up with. Then in terms of my own inputs, I've been here now for 4 or 5 different times, contributing to different courses, and I've been able to do that because of our work in FAO, focusing on quality and safety issues, trade, marketing, have always been very relevant for also the courses we have here. Now recently in FAO I've taken up a new position with more responsibilities, still keeping my portfolio on trade and market access issues, but also more on the policy side. So probably I'd like to see some more inclusion in the future in some of these courses also on policy issues of relevance, of course, also for the trade and marketing aspects of fisheries. But that's something we'll have to look into when we start planning for the new courses in 2 or 3 years down the road. One issue, for example, that came to mind during the discussion this morning was the issue of value chains. Value chains have gained a lot of attention, not only by policymakers, but also by academics over the last few years. And we'll see how we can develop together a course, possibly also on value chain management in the fish and fisheries sector, not only focusing on the Mediterranean and Europe or North Africa, but also on a more global scale. Global scale is important because fish and fisheries sector has become incredibly globalized, not only in terms of production, but also in terms of demand. Product is now maybe being produced in one region of the world, and it's being consumed in another region, and in between there may be a third region involved in terms of processing. So getting all these aspects addressed is important. There are a number of other issues that are also linked to this. Traceability issues, labeling, we mentioned the importance of the consumer, of needs. We have the relationship between our sector of fisheries and aquaculture and the other food sectors, where there are a lot of linkages, and we have to see how also we can address our sector better by taking into account the overall sector of food in general. Going also beyond the sector of food, we have linkages with the environment, with other issues of labor issues. We mentioned this morning, for example, animal welfare becoming more and more important in aquaculture production. So we have a number of potential topics for future courses over the next few years. And that is something also within FAO we'd like to contribute to see how we can add more issues and how we can enlarge the scope of this collaboration. One issue, for example, is something in FAO we now call the Blue Growth Initiative. Blue Growth is a platform for what we already do in terms of fisheries and aquaculture, but we are trying to increase the agenda by interlinking more with other food sector or other food sectors, other areas not historically linked so much to our sector. And by doing that, we think we will have a bigger impact. We'll have a more ecosystem-based approach on what we do, and we'll also be able to maybe include more elements that are part of the final solution rather than by only focusing on the fisheries and aquaculture sector in particular.